Hello, my name is Shay. Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be checking out 10 biggest lies about the Philippines. Welcome back to yet another reaction video. I seen this a little while ago, recommended down my newsfeed, and I saved it because, as you guys are all aware, if you guys have been following the channel, I'm very much itching to get back to the Philippines. I've said this many times now, and I have been in recent discussion with Dan from EAP Films Official. Yes, he is still alive and well, and we were discussing future plans, which I'm not going to reveal in this video, but we are planning for the next Philippines trip. And as excited as I am to obviously go back to the Philippines and catch up with Dan and his beautiful family, between you and me, it's a little too far for me. So I am actually thinking about, I haven't even told Dan this, I'm thinking about taking another trip a little bit sooner. There's a few other things that I want to get out the way first before I start doing all the islands and everything. And I want that to be a separate trip alone. I don't want to mix the two islands and the entertainment industry together. I don't want to mix a trip because then it's going to become too stressful. I just want to dedicate one trip to what I need to get done and one trip to relax and almost celebrate, if you will. Because I never thought it would take this long to get back to the Philippines. It's actually ridiculous how life works out sometimes. But in regards to this video, the title caught my attention and just curious. Because I've got my own experience in the Philippines. I have a vague idea of what some of these could be. And I don't know if these are major lies or very well-known lies or little white lies. I have no idea. So I figured why not record a reaction video and bring you guys along for the ride. So on that note, let's play the video.
The Philippines is a country that we love to talk about here on FTD Facts. So much can be said about the beauty of the country as well as the beauty of the people. Yet even still, there are many stereotypes, misconceptions, and straight up lies that have been put on as labels on the country.
Very intrigued.
Welcome back to FTD Facts. My name is Leroy Kenton, and for this episode, I'm going to be looking at 10 of the biggest lies, stereotypes, and misconceptions about the Philippines. Okay, so let's get into this list. At number 10, Filipino women are submissive and quiet.
That's not the route I thought this video was going.
Like every other country, though, women come in a variety of attitudes. Some a little bit more attitude prone than others. But either way, Filipinos are just a conservative type of woman. According to sources, Filipino women, they find it uncomfortable to mingle or even interact with male foreigners and even their own men. They also have a reputation of being quiet and shy, but this is normally because they feel that they don't have the adequate skill of speaking English to the foreigners. So instead of speaking nonsense, they remain silent. The next lie is that the Philippines is one land mass. This is something that I've been guilty of thinking myself. But there's actually over 7,000 islands that make up the Philippines, and around 2,000 of them are inhabited. And this is known as an archipelago, which is a collection of islands, or sometimes a sea containing a small number of scattered islands. Now, the Philippines has a total land area of 300,000 square kilometers, which works out to be 115,831 square miles. This makes it the world's largest island country. The Philippine archipelago is divided into 3 island groups: Luzon, Visayas, as well as Mindanao. The lie number 8 is Filipinos don't speak English. So when tourists visit the country of the Philippines, they're usually surprised at the fact that Filipinos learn English as their first language. Most Filipinos also learn it alongside Tagalog growing up. Although some Filipinos will have a distinct accent while speaking English, English-speaking tourists will have little or no trouble at all communicating with them.
A lot of people choose the Philippines over other Asian countries like Thailand, Malaysia, because they speak
Tagalog. This
majority speak very good English.
Is similar to the idea that Chinese people speak Chinese, when in fact they speak a wide variety of languages like Mandarin.
I'm surprised that people actually think this. Like, this is a bit of a silly video so far.
Tagalog is one of many dialects spoken in the country. Back in the year 1937, the government, they adopted Tagalog, elevating its status as a national language of the Philippines, also calling it Filipino, and it has since become mixed with other existing Philippine dialects as well as foreign languages like English and Spanish. Now, when it comes to native languages and dialects, there are more than 200 in the entire country. Number 6, all Filipinos share the exact same culture. So being an archipelago, like I mentioned earlier, historically there was no actual Philippines to refer to. The different groups of islands being separated by large bodies of water, they contained their own distinct culture and language and traditions.
It's actually insane.
Because of this,
so much
they were very distinct from each other. So then the movement for a united Philippines didn't come until the arrival of the Spanish, which was much later on though. All right guys, so we reach halfway in this episode. We have 5 more lies to look at. And for more information about Philippines, I definitely want you to check out our video where we did 10 surprising facts about the Philippines. It is a mind-blowing episode. It's such a beautiful country, so much to learn about it. I'll link to it below in the video description section so you can check it out.
I'll watch that one off camera.
All right, continuing with the lies. In at lie number 5, we have Filipinos are nannies and call center agents. That's all they're good for. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where these lies come from. I've never heard this stuff.
Very good at delivering these types of services, and because of that, there's a high demand for their skills in other countries. However, not everyone shares the same dream job interest. There's actually millions and millions of Filipinos living and working overseas with completely different professions, like doctors and nurses and singers. Yeah, Filipinos sing really good. That's another stereotype.
It's like the biggest understatement in this video.
I think there's like some facts to that. You'll find Filipino entrepreneurs, IT specialists, engineers, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So no, they're not just nannies and they don't just work in call centers overseas. So lie number 4 is Manila is the main business district, and this is something that I thought as well, I'm not gonna lie. Contrary to what many foreigners think, most of the embassies and big firms, banks, and insurance companies, they're actually located in Makati and Taguig City. Makati and Taguig are located within the Greater Manila area. Now, Manila is the capital city of the Philippines, and it is one of the most populated cities, but it is not necessarily where all the main action happens. Number 3, have you heard this one before?
I mean, this is literally right next to each other.
Regularly eaten and served. Okay, all right, so no, they don't sell dog meat in Filipino supermarkets and grocery stores.
Who made up these lies, mate? Because this is a bit silly.
It's a very taboo topic, and there actually are a few small groups. Mostly of them are in the northern region of the country, in the mountain province, where indigenous people, as well as their ancestors, have had a history of eating dog meat, but you're not gonna be finding it at restaurants or grocery stores just like that.
This video kind of
doesn't exist.
It kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Filipinos date foreigners for money and papers. All right, guys. So these ideas are largely.
I feel like these are the biggest lies.
Shows like 90 Day Fiancé. Let's be honest.
Foreigners have come up
but not all
within their
Filipinos
heads without doing any
an American
research
or British citizen or whatever. Some just love to
or people that
travel
are just
and
shallow.
meet people along the way. Just because Filipinos date and marry foreigners also doesn't mean that they're just looking for visa applications, making that whole process easier and everything. Filipinos, they can afford to fund their own travels themselves, get their visas, and do their jobs in foreign countries, so they don't necessarily need a foreign partner to do so. Marrying a Filipino actually does not mean that the foreigner has to support the Filipino's family either. You know, there's a lot of times where people move overseas and it's like, okay, well, you got to send money back to my family. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's unfair to label Filipinos with that stereotype. And yes, so it is a sad reality that because they date foreigners, it's assumed that they're just gold diggers. But if you actually think about it, just because someone dates somebody from a foreign country doesn't mean that that person is rich either. So yeah, something to think about there. And now moving on to our biggest lie in this episode, Philippines. It's a very dangerous country. Now, we've all seen the news reports. Many foreigners, they hear about Philippines' war on drugs, among other struggles that they have in the country.
I don't think there's any danger when I've gone to the Philippines.
To think that the Philippines is a place of
and when I do, it's
usually
self-inflicted
everywhere. Now, there are, of course, several unfortunate issues in the country, but overall, away from the hotspots of criminal activity, there are many beautiful places and safe places that you'll see in the Philippines. Not just the resorts designed for tourists, but many local places as well. Completely safe. All right, guys, so this concludes this episode. This was a look at 10 of the biggest
It's not the
lies
video I
about
was
the
expecting,
Philippines.
mate. I was
Hope this helped
expecting
clear
something
up
else.
some
Or different lies or
The country of the
something a bit.
Philippines and Filipinos,
I don't
they
know.
are an amazing group of
I don't know what I
people.
was
Here at
expecting.
FTD Facts, we do our best to show love and appreciation to all peoples in our world. And really hope you guys enjoyed this one.
No, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not sure how interesting this video is going to be for you guys watching out there, because it just wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting, I guess, more believable lies. Something that I've questioned myself. I mean, maybe the English one, the speaking English, that no one speaks English, maybe. If I did absolutely no research and I was completely clueless about the world we live in, or don't take any notice or observe anything outside my own country or the country that I live in. I feel like this video was aimed towards a specific group of people that basically just don't think for themselves. So it's just like the first thing that comes to mind, or even just the Filipino community and triggering them into thinking that some people actually think like this. But I'm gonna leave it there. I don't think this was worth the reaction after all that. And I don't even know how old this video is now. I don't know how this appeared in my newsfeed. We're gonna read some of the comments before we react to some random Philippines related content like this. But hopefully you guys are well, and see you guys in the next video, and possibly during my next travel series to the Philippines.